Welcome, everyone, to Day 2 of Thrive in 2025. I am Renee Marino, and I get to be your host for these 3 amazing days. I'm so excited to welcome you back because if you loved Day 1, you are going to be blown away by where we take you today. And if you're just joining us today for the first time, welcome. You too are in the right place. Now, you may have noticed the high energy we bring to everything we do. There's a reason for this. Tony says the higher your energy, the deeper the information lands and lasts. So I'm going to ask you to bring your full energy today for you, for Dean, for our amazing guest speakers. Who's ready to find a new level of energy you haven't felt in a long time? Say, I am ready in the chat. Ready, ready, ready. I am ready. That's the energy that we're talking about. Yes, thank you. These 3 days are all about learning how to build, launch, and scale a business you love that has impact in your world and the world. And there has never been a better time to do exactly that. So if you started the day yesterday wondering, is this possible for me? Chances are you're starting to feel that shift. And I know from the Facebook group, so many of you are already seeing a new vision for thriving in 2025. You're thinking, I can actually see myself doing this, right? Seeing your comments took me back to my Day 2. It was 5 years ago, and I had taken so many notes, and I was on fire thinking, I can do this. This is possible for me. I can go from everyone else calling the shots to me being in control of my future, where I work, when I work, and how much money I get to make. Okay, everyone, get ready. I brought this just for you. Here is my actual notebook from 5 years ago. I traveled this just so I could show you. It's proof that the ideas in here and the decisions you make today will determine who you'll be tomorrow. So get your notebooks ready because we're going to bring Dean up here in a moment, and he's going to show us how to make this real for ourselves. And not for nothing, okay? Today you'll also be learning from Jay Shetty and his wife Roddy and Mr. Matthew McConaughey. Oh yeah, you're in for a treat. So let's become distraction-proof. Close out all those other tabs on your computer. Nothing's more important than this very moment. So make a commitment to not miss 1 minute because to miss a little is to miss a lot. This day is going to rock your socks. So let's all take a breath in together right now. And know that any feeling of nervousness is just excitement with a different label, because you are being introduced to new opportunities for your life. Trust you have the right people to guide you on your path, and they are right here today. So let's bring that high magnetic energy and help me welcome back to the stage, Dean Graziosi.
I see you, Carlos Lopez. What's going on? Mary Lynn, Kate. I see you, D. Smith. What's going on? Cyrene, always good to see you. What's going on? You guys ready for Day 2? I see you, Jay McLaughlin, Maddie, Austin. You played full out yesterday, brother. Good to have you back, man. Sandra, Catherine. Jeannie's ready to party today. I see it. I see it. Kent's got a little head nod going on. He's about ready to get into it. Matthew Jones, what's going on? I see it, Teresa. Rita, I hope I said that right. What's going on? Hey, everybody. Well, welcome to Day 2. I gotta say, yesterday may have been the most fun I've ever had in our events. I'm not kidding you. It was Day 1. The energy was amazing. You guys lit up the screen. You did the work. I just want to say thank you for giving it back. Such an awesome day for me. And I stayed up way too late. I don't know if anybody else did, reading all the posts and watching the videos in the Facebook group. It was incredible. And I really want to take a moment and acknowledge you. I saw some of you took uncomfortable action for the first time. You wrote something in any other world you might be embarrassed to write. You did it. And besides that, the amazing future products that I saw, there's about 50 of them I saw last night that I'll buy as soon as you're ready. Because once you understand the fastest way to get from where you are to where you want to be is to find somebody who's already done it, then you realize, I mean, some of you, this might be new to you, but you'll never be the same when you realize you can buy or share specialized knowledge, right? And remember, today we're going to be rewarding some of you who took that action. So later on, after Matthew McConaughey, an amazing day we have set up for you. We're going to give away VIP tickets to some upcoming Tony and Dean events as our way of saying thank you for taking action. So make sure, yeah, I see you, Sandra. I know, I see you. We got some fun stuff coming up. Also, you know, just before we get into this amazing day we have planned, we got a lot planned. So just like yesterday, we're going to go fast. But I was thinking last night how truly blessed I am that I found this industry. This is what I do for a living. To be here with you all, and you all have the opportunity for this. Most all of you said yes, you would choose impact over income, but the truth is we can have the opportunity to do both. And we can all have the opportunity to do both. We can have purpose and passion, impact and income. I'm not saying some magical money machine, but a real opportunity to create a life that you desire in an industry that truly fulfills your soul. And I don't think there's any better example. Tony was sharing yesterday about how his dad, right, when they didn't have Thanksgiving and there was no food, right, it triggered his dad to go one direction. It triggered him to go in another, meaning people are good and we could give back. And I know I shared this last night, but we passed 1 million meals that we're going to be donating in your name for those of you who chose the VIP upgrade. We're taking your dollar. Yeah, give it up for that. We're taking your dollar, we're matching the dollar, and it'll be over 1 million meals. And it just proves that we can do both. We can do well for ourselves while we do good for others. Who's ready to do well for ourselves so we can do good for others? Right? Put our oxygen mask on so we can take care of the people we love. And as Renee said, I hope you're starting to see how this all can fit into your life. You may have showed up yesterday going, I'm not sure. Maybe that investigator kind of just checking it out, but you're back. And I want you to remember 3 quick things I shared yesterday. 1, if you're in the right industry that's growing, combined with modeling proven practices. Who's already done what you want to do? That's why you're here. Tony and I have done this in such a huge scale for so many years. But the last one is the most important. Because if you're in the right industry, if you have the right plan, guidance, and tools to get there, then the last thing is you have to persist until you succeed. You have to make sure nothing can stop you. Who's ready? Put it in the chat or raise your hand. Who's ready to persist until they succeed, to live into who you're meant to be, not settling to be? No more regrets. Don't get to the end of your life thinking I missed it. This is our time to go in, right? I see you, Nikki. I see you, Kathleen. I see you, Christine, Mel, Jeannie. I see you, Debbie. I see you, Nikki Lowe. What's going on? I see you. Remember this, too. Each day builds upon the prior day. I know Renee said it, but I'm going to remind you to choose commitment over convenience. Don't miss a moment. The other thing to remember is perspective is power. As you're going through this, if that old perspective, that old story starts to come into your head, go, no, you didn't serve me. You had me miss opportunities in the past. I have a new perspective. I'm getting a new prescription where I see my future clearly. And when you feel that, hold on to that. Because the biggest thing that could derail you is that old story saying we've tried things before, they didn't pass. The heck with that. That was yesterday, this is today. Because the cost of inaction is too big in this fast-moving world, right? So maybe today, instead of seeing obstacles, we can see opportunity. Who's ready to see opportunity over obstacles today? Yeah, me too. Let's have a fun day. You know, yesterday we talked through, I got to remind you how far we've come together. Yesterday we talked through what you would share, whether it was at a career or a business skill, maybe a personal experience, a mess that becomes a message, a passion. Then we talked about and dialed it down who you would share it with. Remember, the smaller, the better. You dial it down, still a big pool, but they're ideal. And then we talked about how would you share it. Some of you picked a course, some coaching, some mastermind, some a group. Some of you wanted to do in-person retreats. We worked on a solution statement. I help with, right? Then some of you did your teaching points. You played with Gigi. I mean, all of that was yesterday. And then wasn't Jillian freaking awesome? Who enjoyed watching Jillian yesterday? It was so good. I think the greatest gift she gave all of us is made you realize that we all start with a dream and we all start scared to death. Is that true? Right? We want this next level, but we're still scared. I think that was like, that's all of us, right? But we can't let that inner doubt stop us. When I asked, what was the biggest takeaway from Jillian? You guys all did the Nike commercial. We have to just go for it. Just do it, right? Our next level lives on the other side of the uncomfortable action that we take. And then, of course, nobody better than Mr. Tony Robbins to crush old beliefs, create a new path to success. At the end, when he was doing the heart-centered emotion, I was standing here with my wife, truly, tears in my eyes. I've watched him do that 20 times in my life, and every time I love it, because in that state of mind, what's possible? In that state of mind, thinking from your heart, what's possible? Everything, right? Kansala, I see it, right? You said everything. And now today is my favorite. It's the next most important piece of the puzzle. Today I get to share my greatest skill, one that took me about 30 years to master. Today is about how to fast track your first sale to next sales to consistent sales by finding the exact people who need and want what it is you have to offer. It's I believe one of my greatest skills. And then after we do that, I'm going to show you how to get a yes through service using our YES method. I guess it's the yes method, right? Get a yes by the yes method. You're going to absolutely love it. You will fall in love with sales after this, for sure. And again, I'm going to remind you, stay to the end. Not only are we giving away cool stuff at the end, we got Matthew McConaughey. Plan this day out. Cancel the meetings because it's going to be one heck of a day. Who's ready for this amazing day? Listen, I'm all in. I'm committed to you. And if you guys are all in, if you're ready to live into who you're meant to be, put in the chat one more time, I'm in. Oh, you guys are already doing it. I'm in, all in. Look at this, all in, all in, all in, all in. I love it. There we go. There we go. That's how we kick off the day. All right, all right. Okay. So before we get into me sharing what I absolutely love to share, to demystify sales, I'll show you how to make it real. Before we make it real, and before we, I don't know where that laugh come from. That was pretty cool. Before we get started, I'm so excited for our first two guests. I have the pleasure of getting to know these two incredible humans, and I can't wait for you to spend some time with them today. First off, Jay is an award-winning podcaster, and he's received over, you ready for this? 4 billion views of his podcast. He's a global New York Times bestseller. He's a purpose-driven entrepreneur. And before all of that, he spent 3 years living as a monk in India. He decided, right, we talk about taking our personal experiences. He decided to leave that and then come apply his concepts he mastered as a monk into the real world. Jay's become a real friend, and he told me it was his vision to make purpose and ancient wisdom not only relatable, but also practical, right? Life experience, share it with others, turn it into a business. But when he returned, his sister introduced him to Radhi Devlukia, who's now his amazing wife. Through her own passion of encouraging people to better understand themselves, their environment, and what they put on their body, what they put in their body, combined with her background as a nutritionist, she did the same thing. She took her life experience and she shares everything she knows on how to live a conscious life. They both have shared a mission to spread love, purpose, and positive transformation globally. So can we please give it up for Jay Shetty and Radhi Devlukia Shetty. What's up, guys?
Hey, everyone. What's up, Dean?
Oh, it's so good to be here with you guys. You know, before we get started, I have to say, and Jay, I tell you this because I get the chance to talk to Jay more than I talk with Radhi. I hope he translates this. But it's such a pleasure to watch the impact you guys are making on the world. And from your relationship to sometimes your quirkiness to your happiness to your honesty. It's just been amazing. You know, I got to watch you before I knew you. I told you something, Jay, a prophet's never welcome in their hometown. I say that humbly. So when I want them to watch something that I want them to learn, you are the person, you are the go-to for my kids who are now 18 and 16. And I mean that. So I just want to say from my heart to yours, thank you for being here. And thanks for everything you do in the world.
Well, first of all, Dylan, I just want to say how grateful I am for that trust. I've loved getting to know you over the years, and truly yours and Tony's dedication to serve the hundreds of thousands of people every single year is truly an incredible, incredible feat. And so I thank you for doing this and for having us here. We're both so grateful and honored to be with you all. And thank you to everyone who's committed to thrive in 2025, because you're going to make a difference. Everything that you're learning here from the incredible lineup of speakers and guests you've had is truly phenomenal. So, Dean, a big thank you to having us both as well.
Oh, my absolute pleasure. And I see everybody's lightening up. They love having you here. So I'm going to get right to the questions. You know, I'm going to start with you, Jay. I wrote this little note from monk to mentor. Right? But your journey is so unique, right? From studying in silence to speaking to millions of people. What inspired you to start sharing your message? And I guess not only what inspired you to share it, when did you realize that your life experience could actually become a passionate business?
Absolutely. It's such a great question, Dean. The first part of the answer is I really discovered something that changed my life. And I think what's really interesting is, let's say you saw an amazing movie or an amazing TV show. Wouldn't you tell everyone you love about it? You'd be like, hey, you need to go to the theaters and watch this movie, or you got to stream this TV show tonight. Like, you're going to love it. Now, that's entertainment. But when it comes to enlightenment, if you've been fortunate enough to learn enlightenment tools, if you've learned meditation or mindfulness, if you've learned the tools to master your mind and emotions, I felt such a responsibility that I was getting to learn what less than 1% of the planet gets to learn in the way I did. And I walked away from that thinking, if I don't share this with the world, it's actually the greatest disservice. So my reason for doing this was just this overwhelming feeling that I'd been so fortunate and so lucky and so grateful to have met the monks, to studied with them, to lived as one, to have had these amazing experiences. I felt compelled that I had to share it with people. Now, to your second part of the question of when did I feel this could actually become a passion, a business, a real thing for me, I think your audience will really, really appreciate this. It was many years later. I genuinely never believed. I was just like the people that are in Thrive in 2025, who so many of you, I'm sure, are thinking, oh, Dean, like you can do it, and Tony can do it, and Jay and Riley can do it, but maybe I can't do it. I was that person. I literally believed that I was so happy if 5 to 10 people showed up to an event. I'd be over the moon if 20 people showed up to an event, and I would serve them and teach and guide for hours and hours and hours. And I did that for years before I ever felt maybe I should put out a video. And when I started making content, I thought getting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube was the peak of the mountain. I was over the moon, and I was so grateful. So it was many years into my career when I started to hit a certain level of excitement and enthusiasm about what I was doing. I would say it was as recent as 2016, 2017, that I really felt this had a future. And the difference is, Dean, that since then, I never took my foot off the gas. As soon as I realized that this could really make a difference in the world, can make a difference in my life, and it could be an offering, I made sure that I was focused, strategic, and organized, because you can't manufacture momentum. And when you finally find it, you have to go all in.
You can't let up. You know, and thank you for sharing that. You know, your gifts that you learned, you felt obligated to share. And I say that all the time.
Yes.
For us to end, someday pass away with all this knowledge in our head that can allow people to go faster is the biggest disservice. We use the same words. And yours was in wellness or meditation and alignment. But somebody might just be a chapter ahead in a marriage, or chapter ahead in their marketing department, or a chapter ahead, right? They learn something. Somebody's starting on day one, And you have all this experience. You already took a bunch of wrong turns. You took some right turns. You know, some of the knowledge turned into intuition and wisdom. And I feel like that's why this industry is not only growing so exponentially, it's becoming cool. You know, Tony and I have conversations, and he was so happy that you were going to be here with us, Jay. I'm so glad that you two connected, had some amazing interviews together. And we were talking about it just the other day and talking about when we first started. He started 46 years ago. I started 29 years ago. It wasn't cool. Like, you wouldn't walk around and say, hey, I have a coach. They'd be like, are you on a soccer team? Like, why do you have a coach, right? Now, if you go to dinner with 5 people, someone says, I have a life coach, I have a health coach, I'm becoming coach certified, I have a coach helping us with our marriage, I have someone helping me with my macros. So now, what's so cool is it's become cool, and you get to, I mean, you transform lives for a living, and each of us have something that could help someone else. And Roddy, I want to say, watching you and on your journey has been so much fun. Your passion for wellness, conscious cooking, intentional living, it's not only resonated with so many people, it truly resonates with my wife. Like, she absolutely loves following your stuff and your cookbooks and all the great things. We've been building a new house for the last couple of years, and we built this kitchen just for her to do her magic. And I'm so excited for her. But I want to ask you, was it Jay? Was it something you thought about before? What made you decide to turn this into something bigger, like your cookbook and your content? And maybe more importantly, what was that first step in that direction?
Yeah, thank you so much for your sweet words. That's so kind of you. And honestly, from the day that I met you, you always had the best energy, I just have to say. And you were always so encouraging and so kind. Even when I remember, I think I met you when I was studying back in the day. And so I really appreciate all your encouragement over the years. How did I decide to turn what I was doing into this? Honestly, I remember being the person, and I was studying, as I mentioned, when I met you, who just wanted to consistently be a student. I never felt like I knew enough. I was like, okay, but I have to do another course, and then I have to like learn this, and wait, no, I can't become an Ayurvedic something because I still need to do another 3 courses before I feel qualified. And I think I really struggled throughout my life with feeling qualified to become something, or to share as something, or to even say I'm a nutritionist when I'd done 2 degrees. Like, I always felt underqualified. And I remember one of my spiritual teachers, Radhanath Swami, he said once in this class, he said, knowledge is so useless unless it's shared. And I guess it's very similar to what you're both speaking about. But he also added to that you can actually get so much ego just from accumulating knowledge. There's one thing about knowledge, and then there's one thing that's wisdom. And wisdom is when you take your knowledge and you experience it and you put it into practice. And so it's really only half of what you're supposed to do. Like, you're supposed to have knowledge and you're supposed to have experience. And that's when you are able to truly share something, because not only do you have it in your mind, you also have it through your life. And I think the best way to share something is when you've lived it, because you can be theoretical, but then if you haven't experienced it, you're just sharing from a place of mind, not heart. And so I really had to learn how to blend the two. And I started sharing because I guess it's similar to what Jay said. I started experiencing the benefits of synchronizing with nature. I started understanding the benefits of how I can heal my body by myself, and understanding my body and what that felt like. And I really wanted other people to feel that. I wanted people to know that they don't have to be helpless when it comes to their health. I wanted people to realize that there's so much that they can do for themselves that doesn't require another person. And so I guess it was a mix of all of those things that encouraged me to say, you know what I'm learning isn't even mine. And I can just be a bridge for that. Like, I'm taking it from a teacher, and I can just be a bridge to take another person to that same place. That doesn't mean I have to be an expert at it, but at least I can take them from one spot to another and guide them towards it. And it really took the pressure off me.
Tony's always said this, and I watched it firsthand being in this industry for so long, that when the outside world feels a little heavy, the insecurities on the inside compound. It feels like you put a magnifying glass on it. And I would bet to say, especially someone saying, I want to do my own thing. I would love to impact people for a living. This is a group of people that want purpose and passion in their life, and they still want to create a business at the same time. But there's definitely no denying it that right now the world feels chaotic. It feels uncertain. It feels overwhelming for so many people. You guys have both built lives rooted in presence, clarity, and purpose. what could help somebody stay centered when the world feels out of control?
That's a good question. What can help someone feel centered in a world that feels so chaotic? I always used to hear that whenever I used to create discipline in my life, I always used to hear people around me say, "Oh my gosh, that sounds so restrictive. Like, don't you just want to let loose and have fun and stay up late and eat this and do that?" And the more I became disciplined, the more freedom I felt. And the more at ease I felt. And I think sometimes when things feel chaotic on the outside, creating regulation in your life can help so much. So for me,
true.
I mean, and I can speak from experience, like if I don't have my wake up time at the same time, my meditation in the morning, my workouts at the same time, knowing what I'm eating and when I'm eating it. It can be as simple as like having the same meal times every single day.
Well, because you're
Not everything has to
controlling
be
the control. You're controlling the things that you can control. There are some things out of your control, right? And trying to control something you're not in charge of, that might be the craziest thing ever, right? I love that.
Yes, and so like either having a calendar where you can see you're sticking to those times, or having a checklist that you're going through of the things you want to complete in a day, it allows you to feel so at ease. Your nervous system doesn't want to not know what's happening. And so in a time where you feel fearful about other things that are unsure, create some sort of certainty, which can be in your discipline and your regulation.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Dean,
Jay.
did you want me to dive in on that,
I
or
would
do you
love
want
that. I'd
to
love your
switch gears?
perspective too.
No, I was going to repeat what you both said, like definitely double down on that. And the only thing I'd add is learn how to find your news, but don't just let your news find you. And what I mean by that is today, most of us, news finds us. We're just scrolling and you see something and now you're sucked in. You've got the news channel on in the background while you're cooking, while the kids are getting ready for school, whatever it is. Your news is finding